So for a while now, premium bonds have offered similar returns for most holders, not everyone, but most holders, to what they'd get in the equivalent best easy access savings account. That's what I've recommended them to you guys for the bulk of your emergency savings. That's why I put the bulk of my emergency savings in premium bonds as well. However, you can now get 1% easy access on up to 25k. And this kind of changes things because that will guarantee interest on your savings that's more than the expected win rate, the average win rate that most people experience with their bonds, particularly people who don't have much money in there at all, less so for people with up to the maximum 50k. But even so, this might mean it's time to say goodbye to premium bonds. So what I'm going to do is take you through here how much you could win with premium bonds, how much interest you can get elsewhere, why an easy access account might be better, and when premium bonds might be better, and also show you my thoughts on what I'll do with my own money in premium bonds. So let's start off with how much can you win from premium bonds. Now, there is a 1% prize rate, but that doesn't mean you'll get 1%. This effectively means that the average prizes that are dished out will be the equivalent of 1%. But since the minimum prize is only 25 quid, that means that lots of people won't win anything. If someone wins 25 quid, there can be 24 people winning nothing at all for those bonds. So some people will get a lot less, some people will get more. And in fact, there is that chance to win up to £1 million. There are two £1 million prizes dished out on premium bonds every single month. But the most common prize is likely to be a £25 one. There are ones in between. Now, 1% as a prize rate, as I said, it's not going to be your guaranteed 1%. But in my personal experience, in my video that I did last month, which did really, really well, so thank you so much if you've joined the channel as a result of watching that video. My personal experience based on 10 grand kept for 12 months, so I could do a full comparison, was that I got 4 £25 prizes, which is the equivalent of 1%. Now that was, if you watch the other video, you'll see I felt that was a good investment, despite it being pretty rubbish compared to inflation. This isn't about, I had lots of comments, people saying, why aren't you investing it? You should be getting much more on the stock market, whatever. But this is about your emergency savings, having money that you might need in the next week, next month, the next 6 months, whatever it is. Okay, getting the best return on that. It's not going to be as much as potentially you can get on the stock market, although as we've seen recently, there have been some big drops down with everything that's going on in the world. So if you need that money right now, it might have lost value. It's not about that. It's not about getting the best possible return imaginable. It's about getting the best possible return on some easy access savings. Okay, so anyway, I got 4 £25 prizes, £100 on 10k. That is the equivalent of 1%. Knowing from your comments that you guys left on that last video, some of you had similar results. Sometimes you did better, sometimes you did worse. And obviously a lot of that was chance. You could have exactly the same money and do better or do worse. You could have more money and do a lot better. You could have more money and do the same. You could have less money invested in bonds and do the same or even better. Well, that obviously is a lot rarer. So from my personal experience, I was getting 1% on premium bonds. In fact, I can give you a little update because I mentioned before in that other video that I had another stash of cash in premium bonds. They've now been in 10 prize draws. That's actually £8,000 that I had in that second stash of cash. I actually won again this month. So I've now got 4 prizes again on 8k. So with 10 months of the year gone, 2 months left to go, 2 more draws to go, my return is actually 1.25% on that second batch. Even better than before. But again, it's all personal. Everyone's going to have a very different experience. But it just gives you an idea that if you have a certain amount of cash in there, more than 5k is generally seen as the minimum you want in premium bonds for it to be kind of getting you up to that kind of 0.75, 1%, then that is kind of where you could be getting your money there. But the average rate of luck would suggest you will get less than that. I seem to have been particularly lucky on my premium bonds to be getting the money I have got on it. My expectation was, and the average rate of luck was saying I should be getting between 0.75 and maybe 0.9%, something like that. That's the benchmark, but okay, you could do more. So how does this now compare to the best easy access accounts? Because even when I filmed that video a month ago, the best alternative was 0.75. So now things are 1%. Virgin Money, and I've talked about this in another video you can check out in more detail, but Virgin Money, if you have a current account with them, you also get a linked savers account, an M-Saver account, which will give you 1% on the first £25,000 that you have saved in that account. Now, anything above 25k, you'll get 0.5%, but broadly speaking, for most of us, having 25k in emergency savings is going to be more than enough. Don't forget as well, if you have the current account, the M Plus current account, you also get 2.02% on the first grand in there. So you've got 26k, up to 26k in Virgin, getting rates which are very, very difficult to beat out there elsewhere. There are a few regular savers paying 2.5%, a few bits here or there, 3.04%. But again, they're on small amounts, regular amounts each month. For that kind of lump sum in one place, you are not going to be able to beat right now the Virgin Money M Plus current account and M Plus savers account, which is linked to it. Okay, that is the best you can get right now. Or you could, if you've never used the marketplace Raisin before, they have a special new welcome bonus for you. Sadly, it's just dropped from £50 down to £30. It's not as good as it used to be. But you can get a £30 bonus if you put aside £10,000 for 6 months. There is a 95-day notice account with them, which pays 1%. So you'd get 1% plus you'd get a little 30 quid bonus on top, which makes it even better. And after 6 months, if you want to, you can take that money out, obviously given that 95-day notice, and put it somewhere else if you wanted. So they are two places which will potentially give you 1% or above 1% interest. So you can see here, well, premium bonds, hopefully you'll get around 1%, more likely you'll get below it. Or go over here to the Virgin Money savings account or the 95-day fix via Raisin. No, say notice, I should say, via Raisin for 6 months and get 1% plus 30 quid. Where do you go? What's the difference? Well, let's look at some of the benefits of an easy access account. So by this one, I'm talking here specifically about the Virgin Money M Saver account. Now, this one, that 1% you're getting, it is a variable rate. So they could reduce it, they could increase it at some point. It's not a fix, it's a variable rate. But effectively, while it stays at that rate, and I'm sure it will do, it is a guaranteed amount. So if you have 10 grand in there, you will get £100 after 12 months. We don't know if you get that with premium bonds. So if you want surety, you want to be sure that you are going to get the best return, that is a really good option for you. That's particularly useful, as I mentioned before, that if you have less than £5,000 in premium bonds, your chances of winning enough prizes to get close to that, again, drastically reduces. So again, if you have below 5k, certainly you've got a much, much better chance of getting, well, you're getting 1%, but that's going to be hopefully a lot more than what you get with premium bonds. Another important thing about this Virgin Money account and the current account it's linked to with that 2.02% is they are properly easy access. By that, what I mean is if you need it now, today, right now, you can get that money. So the current account, that grand you have in there on 2.02%, you have a debit card for that, so you can even go and spend money straight away. Or the other one, you can just transfer it into your Virgin Money current account or into another current account to spend however you need it or to transfer to somebody else straight away. There is no delay. Premium bonds, technically it should be 3 banking days, so working days, but factor in a bank holiday here or there. So let's say you're putting it in, you make the transfer on a Friday. Well, actually you won't get that money in your account until the Wednesday. If you do it on a Monday, you'll get it on the Thursday. Okay, so that is the kind of delay that's going to happen with premium bonds. It's not properly easy access, which is why I always say it's worth having some money somewhere else. Don't put all your money in premium bonds. Make sure some of it you can get hold of. Now, you might think that 3 working days isn't too bad. You can manage with that on the whole. But there have been delays. Around Christmas time, there's a well-documented day where it was taking weeks for people to get their money out. And that could be quite problematic. So again, it shouldn't affect too many people. If you know you're going to get the money out at a certain point, just give yourself a bit of notice to do it. But it certainly means that easy access account from Virgin has its benefits. But then premium bonds have benefits as well. This isn't a simple kind of one way or the other. Premium bonds. We are still talking about relatively small amounts of cash difference. If let's use that 10k example again. Let's say I get the average rate of luck on 10k for the next year and I get £75. So 3 £25 prizes, 75 quid. Whereas if I'd had that in the Virgin Money M Saver account, I would have got £100. So I'd be down 25 quid. Now, you might think for the sake of 25 quid, £2 a month roughly, are you willing to give it a bit of a go, a bit of a punt? It's the equivalent, a lotto ticket is £2. So you're basically, rather than buying a lotto ticket once a month, but the equivalent of that is going into your NSNI premium bond draw, and maybe you will win big. Maybe you won't, but maybe you will. And maybe you'll get more than that 75 quid or 100 quid or whatever it might be. You might want to do that. Obviously, the more money you have in premium bonds, let's say you have the full 50k in there, then that is very, very different. That's 150 quid less you'll be guaranteed. Now, obviously, you can't get 50k in the Virgin Money account, because there's only one account per person now. They've got rid of that loophole where you can have multiple ones. So you can have 25k in there, but if you're in a couple, you could open up another one in their name. You can open up a third one as a joint account. So potentially there are ways for you to get access to that 1% above £25,000. But that's a much sort of larger sum to kind of go, do you want to chance it or not? Would you rather have it locked in, you know you've got it? But if you're around that smaller amount, 8 grand, 9 grand, 10 grand, maybe you think, do you know what? I'll keep it at premium bonds. Hopefully I'll get 1%. Maybe I'll get more. If I get a bit less, it's not the end of the world. As I mentioned before, there is also that chance of winning even more than 1%. So I got 1% on my first 10k, and that second lot, near the end of a year of that, I'm already at 1.25%. There's a chance for me to get more. Probably won't, but if I do, that's already been better off having it there than maybe moving it across. The other reason why you might not want to move your money, might want to keep it in premium bonds or put it in premium bonds in the first place, is that we might see the base rate of interest from the Bank of England increase again. We've seen 2 increases. Obviously, what's going on in Ukraine at the time of recording this still makes any kind of things uncertain. Everything's uncertain all the time anyway, but this is particularly even more uncertain. But if we do see more increases, which is what has been mooted as the year at the start of the year, then maybe we'll see other savings providers, including NS&I, including National Savings Investments with their premium bonds, increase their rates. So you might be like, well, I move my money over to Virgin, but then what if the account over there increases its rate? Or what if premium bonds does it and I have to put my money all back in there again and I would have missed out on a couple of draws by taking the money out? Impossible to say on that. But again, you might feel, depending on how much money you have in there, that you're willing to take a risk on that, and for the chance of potentially getting a lower return, see what happens if other rates improve elsewhere. So that's something to think about there. And the other thing I say is obviously you might want to maybe mix between the two. If you do have more than £25,000, which you would put in that Virgin M Saver, maybe you keep, and you've got another, let's say another 25k, then you might put that in premium bonds. Average it out, see how it goes. The risk you've got here, obviously, is that you're saving too much money. And this is a really important thing when it comes to easy access savings. You don't need to have huge amounts. For most people, 25k is more than enough. 50k is going to be excessive, because really, it depends on the circumstances, but there are a couple of reasons why you will have emergency savings. One is for an emergency, right? This is the boiler breaks, the car fails its MOT, or you lose your job and you can't afford the bills and the mortgage every month. That rule of thumb is 3 to 6 months of expenses that you want put away. You might want to have more than that. You might want to be a little bit more on the safer side, have something a little bit longer, 9 months to a year, depending on your industry. If you're freelance, you might want to have more sitting around and things like that. The other pot of savings you might want are things you are saving for. So a new car, a wedding, a house, a holiday, whatever it is. I think for most people, if you have 50k, you're probably oversaving, but there might be examples that say between those two, emergency expenses, unpredictable salary and income if you're freelance, and big things you're saving for, maybe you will be getting up to that limit. In fact, potentially you could there if you wanted to have 25k in Virgin and up to 50k in your premium bonds. So what am I going to do? What am I going to do with my 18k that I have in premium bonds? Well, that's too much, but we've been saving for something. So some of that money will be spent. So some of that will go anyway. But I'm torn what to do with the rest of it. I really am. I think I'm probably going to keep some of it in premium bonds. Based on the experience I've had so far, based on the return I've had, that 1% on the first 10k, the 1.25% on 10 months of a year on the next 8k, I'm quite pleased with that return compared to what I can get elsewhere. And I'm willing to take a chance that maybe over the next 12 months, maybe I'll get less. I'll get a lower return than I would have got if I put it in the Virgin account. I'm not 100% on this. I might mix it up. I might put a little in one, a little bit in the other. But really what you need to do is just work out what you are most comfortable with. My name is Andy Webb. Thank you so much for watching. If this was useful, please do leave me a comment below. Let me know what you're going to do. Here are some more videos on savings you might find useful.